Box 13, with the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd, as Dan Holliday.
Box 13, care of Star Times. I need your help desperately. Johnny Tide was released from the state penitentiary this morning with murder in his heart. I don't know any of the details, but I'm sure that he'll be back here in Watertown by nightfall at the latest. If you mean what you say in your ad in the Star Times, be at the waterfront tonight.
If you mean what you say in your ad in the Star Times, be at the waterfront tonight and stop him. Remember, if you fail, Johnny Tide will kill or be killed by morning. And that would be wrong because there's lots of good in him. I know. I love him. Janice Reed. Yeah, that's the way it started. Just a girl worrying about a boy. But before it was all over, a lot of people were worrying about that boy. They had to, if they wanted to live.
And now, back to Box 13 and Dan Holliday's newest adventure, Designed for Danger.
Jeepers, Mr. Holliday. An ex-convict on the prowl in the toughest section of the city.
Uh-huh. That part of the city doesn't get the carriage trade, as the expression goes. Well, do we accept the challenge, Susie?
We? Oh, hey, I'm only your secretary, Mr. Holliday, and
I was using the editorial we, Susie.
Oh. Well, in that case, Mr. Holliday, I don't know what to say. Frankly, I'm trumped.
Susie, the word is stumped. The
Oh.
word is stumped. But maybe you've got something.
What?
I don't know. But tell you what, suppose I get down to Watertown and nose around a little.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe to see what's doing. It was called Watertown not because it was a separate city, but because it was a separate and different order from the rest of the town. But tonight there was none of the usual rowdy noises. None at all. Watertown was quiet. Too quiet. I could feel a peculiar tension in the air as I walked, as though Watertown was waiting for something to blow up. The people I saw hurried along, vanished into dark doorways and shuttered houses, afraid. A place like Watertown lives within itself, and news travels fast. Then I heard two men talking. I stopped in the shadows and listened.
I know what I'm talking about, Fatty. Tide was sprung this morning, and he headed straight for here.
Maybe he ain't in Watertown. Maybe he'd be afraid to come back.
Oh, Johnny Tide, afraid of what? Of you, Fatty Ralston? You know he ain't afraid, and he ain't forgot.
Oh, shut up. You talk like I had to be afraid of Johnny.
Don't you have to be?
You guys make me sick. That punk's headed for someplace else. He ain't coming back to Watertown.
Well, just the same, if I was you, Fatty, I'd pull a blanket over me and hole up some.
Go on, beat it. Get out of here.
You ain't afraid much. Oh, not much.
I ain't afraid of Johnny Tide. I ain't.
Why not, Fatty? Or why should you be?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I just wanted to ask you a question, Fatty.
You don't know me. I don't know you.
That's right.
Then run along and mind your own business, mister.
I've got business here. I just want to know, who is Johnny Tide? And...
You had your ears open, didn't you?
Yeah, wide open.
So you want to know who Johnny Tide is, huh?
That's right.
Oh, okay. You want it? Here it is.
I'll say this for Fatty. He was quick with his fist. By the time I got my breath back, I saw his 300 pounds disappearing around a corner. So if I wanted to know anything about Johnny Tide, Fatty was the boy to ask. I got up and followed. Saw him duck into a place that had a sign above it, Fatty's pool room. I slipped inside. Stepped into a dark corner and waited.
All right, everybody. Clear out. I'm closing up for the night. Beat it. You heard me. Look. Nobody owes me nothing. Now, that ought to make everything all right. Clear out. Go on.
Turning in early, aren't you, Fatty?
Huh? Oh, you again. You don't learn lessons, do you?
I don't like the way you teach. Now you're going to tell me about Johnny Tide.
Was I? What makes you think that?
I had an idea you might.
Here's another idea with details, starting with this cue ball.
It's your window, Fatty.
Now, beat it. Stay away from me.
I asked you a question outside. I didn't like the way you answered it.
You a cop?
No.
Stay away from me. Stay away. My arm. Let go.
Sure. But who is Johnny Tide?
A punk kid, that's all. Anybody can tell you that.
I like the way you tell it. Come on.
Ease up, will you? That's my arm.
I know it is. It was my stomach outside.
Look, Tide's a punk kid. Just finished a 5-year stretch for sticking up my place.
This place?
Yeah. Yeah, he robbed me of $4,000.
$4,000? Try it again, Fatty. I doubt if you ever had $4,000 in this place.
That's what it was.
And why are you afraid? If he robbed you and served time, why should you be afraid now?
He said he'd get me. Well, let me go.
I'm sorry, Fatty, but your story doesn't make sense. In the first place, like I said, you never had $4,000. Not in this place.
You're smart, ain't you?
Just medium. But I can smell a bad story.
What's your stake in this anyway? Who are you?
An hour ago, I was just a curious bystander. I wanted to know who and what is Johnny Tide. But I took a punch in the midsection, and now you're telling me a lie. So that makes me more than curious. It gives me a personal interest.
Yeah. You let me go when I tell you?
It all depends. Go on.
All right. I'm only telling you because I got to get out of here before Johnny gets here.
Oh, so there is a reason for you to be afraid of him.
Maybe. But Johnny was framed. Rick Martin.
Rick Martin? The Rick Martin?
Yeah, big shot, boss of Watertown. He gave me $4,000, then he told Johnny I was a pushover for a stick-up.
Oh, and Rick Martin also told the police.
Yeah, he did. Johnny was framed, like I said.
Why should Rick Martin want to put that frame around Johnny Tide?
Because Rick liked the girl. So did Johnny.
So Rick took the easy way in love and war.
Now, let me go, will you? I told you everything. I got to get out of here before Johnny comes.
You were in on the frame?
Maybe not exactly, but Johnny won't believe I wasn't.
You know, Fatty, somehow I can't blame Johnny for that. How did Johnny find out he was framed?
Somebody talked. Somebody that don't like Rick Martin.
Uh-huh. Now, is the girl Janice Reed?
Yeah, that's her. Johnny thinks she was in on the frame, too. Now, please, will you let me go? I got to get out.
Yeah, sure, Fatty. You can go now.
I got to go far away because Johnny Tide will go for Rick Martin and then me and then Janice Reed.
So that was it. Johnny Tide was coming back to settle old scores. But where was he? How could I help? I was thinking about it when...
No! Stop! Stop, you crook! You hoodlum! Stop! He did it. He broke my showcase window.
Who did?
That no good Johnny Tide. I saw him. He broke my window and took a gun.
So, now Johnny Tide had a gun, and he was close. Very close. But it was also out of my hands and into the hot little hands of Lieutenant Kling.
Now, look, Holliday. I know that Tide was released from prison this morning. I know that he's in Watertown tonight. I know he intends to kill Rick Martin before morning. But I also know that all of this, including that pawn shop he just knocked over, is none of your business. How do I make myself clear?
Yes, you do. But before I go back to my typewriter, one question. What do you know about a girl named Janice Reed?
Very little. Only that she's a singer over at the Blue Chip, Watertown's most exclusive nightclub. Now, anything else, Danny boy?
No, nothing else, Lieutenant. Good night. Maybe I made a mistake when I asked Kling about Janice Reed. Because up until then, I was convinced that the lieutenant was right. I didn't belong in this mess. But now, well, I couldn't just step out and forget the whole thing. Not without talking to the girl anyway. I got a table at the Blue Chip without too much trouble, and 10 minutes later, Janice joined me. She was younger, prettier, much more upset than I had expected.
Mr. Holliday, what have you found out about Johnny?
Well, rumor has it that he intends to commit a few murders tonight. Oh, and incidentally, you're on his list.
I don't believe that. Look, Mr. Holliday, I know Johnny. I grew up with him right here in this neighborhood. Why, Johnny and I and Tyler Bennett were inseparable. Please, Mr. Holliday, you've got to believe me.
Maybe I do, Janice. But let's start off slowly. First of all, who's Tyler Bennett?
My boss. He owned this place. He and Johnny and I used to play together as kids. Why, we even had a secret clubhouse under the pier. All that kind of stuff. And how Johnny loved it. You know, that kid used to climb the old water tower over the clubhouse every day and pretend to sight pirate ships on the horizon. He'd get mad if we said they were just barges.
Which adds up to what, Janice?
That Johnny was never really a bad boy, Mr. Holliday. He just craved excitement, that's all.
But what about Rick Martin? How do you explain that?
Well, Rick meant action and fast money. And Johnny liked both. He was young and he made a mistake, but he's paid for it. He served his time. Don't you see, Mr. Holliday, he needs help. He needs it badly.
You certainly got a lot of faith in him, Janice. Well, what about you and Rick Martin? Go out with him?
Once in a while. I have to keep my job. Don't forget, Rick Martin runs Watertown.
That might be hard to explain to Johnny Tide.
No, it won't. Believe me, Mr. Holliday, if you can find him, you can talk sense into him. I know that.
Well, I'm not so sure.
But you'll try.
Okay, I'll try.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, pardon me, but you're on in a minute, Janice.
All right, Tyler. Oh, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Holliday.
How do you do?
Hello, how are you?
Excuse me, I'll only be a few minutes.
Janice was telling me how you two grew up with Johnny Tide, Mr. Bennett.
Oh.
Have any idea where he might be?
Well, if I did, I'd go directly to the police with the information. Johnny was a good kid once, but that was a long time ago. He's dangerous now. He's very dangerous.
Janice won't buy that.
I know. She was in love with him 5 years ago. She can't believe he's changed. But mark my word, Johnny Tide will kill before this night is over. I only hope he doesn't get to Janice.
When I left the Blue Chip, I knew that in spite of both Kling and Tyler Bennett, I was on Janice's side. Now, my only problem was to stop Johnny Tide, if I could find him. I walked around aimlessly for the better part of an hour before I got a break. I stopped to look up at the sky, and I found myself staring at the remains of a rotted water tower. For a moment, the jumble of old boards didn't mean a thing, but suddenly it struck home. Johnny Tide used to play pirate on that water tower, and there was a secret clubhouse below. It could be just the spot for a hideout. I felt my way through the blackness when...
You move one more step, fella, and I blow your head off. Who are you?
My name's Holliday, Dan Holliday. I'm not a policeman, and I don't work for Rick Martin.
Your opener's okay. I'll keep talking.
All right. Here it is. You're, Johnny Tide, aren't you?
Maybe. Keep talking.
Well, Johnny Tide, you're the world's biggest sucker.
Yeah?
You waste 5 precious years in prison, and on your first day out with a clean slate, you get into a jam that'll either mean the chair or a pine box.
And what's that to you?
Personally, nothing. But I'm around because a friend of mine believes in you. A girl named Janice Reed.
Janice? You've seen her?
That's why I'm here leaning against that 45 in your hand. Tide, why don't you get smart? That girl's in love with you.
But what about Rick Martin?
Oh, forget him. Sooner or later, the cops will catch up with Martin. They'll put him away for keeps.
Sure. Meanwhile, what's to keep Martin and his boys from coming after me?
I'll do what I can about that. But to play it safe, why don't you get out of town, away from here for a while?
What's that? Holliday, if this is a trap, you'll never leave here alive.
Then we've got a deal. Because that was probably a stray cat. Now listen to me, Johnny. Do what I say, will you? Forget Rick Martin. Get out of town for your own sake and for Janice.
Yeah, sure. Forget the whole thing. Forget I was framed and went up for 5 years. That's a long time, Holliday. An awful long time.
I know it, Johnny. But it's done now.
Yeah, done. Me with a record. You can't wipe that away.
Suppose we fix it so that everybody finds out about the frame.
How?
Well, first give me that gun. Then get out of town and let the police take care of Rick Martin. Fatty Ralston can be made to talk.
How?
He talked to me because he was afraid of you. He'll talk, Johnny. And when he does, that record of yours will be wiped off. Come on, now, what do you say? Well?
Yeah. Here, I'm a sap. A gold-plated 14-carat sap, but here.
That's a good boy. Now go someplace where you'll be out of the way. You leave this to the police.
Sure. But so help me, Holliday. If I get another loop thrown around me, if anything slips, Johnny Tide will be back for you.
When I left Johnny, I was sure everything was going to be all right. I put his gun in my pocket and started up the street for Rick Martin's place. I wanted to be sure that Martin would let Johnny get out of town under his own power. I took a shortcut through an alley. Brother, how foolish can you get? I hadn't gone 10 feet when I heard footsteps behind me. I tried to duck, but I wasn't quick enough.
Mr. Dan Holliday in his usual position after sticking out his neck. Come on, see if he can get up.
Oh, Kling, they ought to do something about these buildings around here. They fall on people.
Yeah, somebody slugs you.
You know, I gathered that.
That isn't all you gathered.
What are you talking about?
3 guesses. Just take only one. That's all you'll need.
I still don't know what you're talking about. But I know one thing.
And that is?
Don't worry about Johnny Tide anymore. I had a talk with him.
So you talked Johnny Tide into being a good boy. You let that fast-talking little... Holiday, while you were lying here asleep, Tide got to Rick Martin and killed him.
And now back to Design for Danger, another Box 13 adventure with Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
The moment Lieutenant Kling told me that Rick Martin was shot to death, I plunged my hand into my pocket for the .45 I'd taken from Johnny Tide. But it was gone.
Looking for this, maybe?
The gun.
Yeah, we found it next to Rick Martin's body. Holiday, you've been taken in by a fast-talking punk. Any way you look at it, your name spells sucker.
Yeah, you're right. Johnny Tide sang a pretty lullaby, and I went to sleep. Forget this, Kling. Before the sun comes up, I'm going to plant Rick Martin's murder right in your lap. Well, sunrise was only 6 hours away, and that meant I had to move fast. I remembered Fatty's warning that he and Janice Reed would be next if Johnny Tide ever got to Rick. So I lost no time in getting to the girl's apartment.
What, Mr. Holliday? What are you doing here?
Rick Martin's just been murdered, Janice.
Yes, I know. Tyler Bennett called me a few minutes after it happened.
Look, Janice, that Johnny's off on a killing spree, and you and Fatty are next in line.
No, I don't believe that. Johnny isn't a killer.
Rick Martin wouldn't see it that way, Janice. Now listen to me. I want you to lock this place up tight and stay under cover.
But I can't. I've got to be back at the club for the late show.
Call Tyler Bennett when it's time. He'll take care of it.
But where are you going?
To find 300 pounds named Fatty Ralston. It cost me a $50 bill and a lot of legwork, but I finally located Fatty out on an old oil barge anchored off the end of a deserted pier. So I took off my shoes, stripped to the waist, and quietly swam out to the barge. Once on deck, I could hear the voices of two men coming from the cabin. One of them was Fatty. I couldn't see the other man. I edged closer, and then I banged against the steel drum, and the noise it made shattered the silence. The light in the cabin went out.
Who's that? Come on, who is it?
Just an old friend, Fatty.
Huh? You again.
Let's go in the cabin, Fatty. I'm a little wet.
Sure, why not? Come on.
Light the lamp.
Anything to oblige. See better now?
Not yet. Who was with you?
Nobody.
Where's Johnny Tide? I said, where's Johnny?
He ain't here.
Don't give me that.
Why don't you look around?
Put down that gun first.
You're mixed up, fella. I give the orders. I got the gun.
That's right. Give me a cigarette, will you?
I don't smoke.
No? Not even Egyptian cigarettes?
Huh?
This cabin's thick with smoke from Egyptian cigarettes.
Maybe you better go. Now.
Hand me that towel, Fatty. I'm a little chilly.
Here.
Thanks. Drop that gun, Fatty. Drop it.
Hey, off! You're breaking it.
Drop that gun. All right. Move back. Okay, now I give the orders. I've got the gun.
Listen, don't do nothing. Don't, please.
No, I'm not. I'm going to stand perfectly still and listen to you talk.
Okay, I'll talk. You see.
Whoever fired those shots couldn't have missed Fatty. And whoever it was got off the barge and into the boat that was tied on the opposite side. I ran over. I slipped once on the oil-covered deck, and the motorboat made for the shore. I had to stand and watch Johnny Tide get away. Get away after killing Fatty. And that made 2 down and 1 to go. And the 1 was Janice Reed. I swam back, slipped into my things, got to a phone, told the police about Fatty. Then I headed for Janice Reed's apartment. It was dark, deserted. I found an unlocked window and got inside. And I had the sickening feeling that I was just 1 step behind Johnny Tide and his gun. Then I knew it wasn't Janice. She'd use her key. I moved to the door quietly.
What? Get your hands off me, Holiday.
Why, Mr. Bennett. I'm sorry. I thought you were Johnny Tide.
Obviously. I came to take Janice to the club. Where is she?
I don't know. I was just going through the place when I heard you at the door. Here, I'll switch on the light. Come on, let's look in the bedroom. Well, there's nobody in here. I guess I'm too late again. Wait a minute. This memo pad. Here, near the phone.
What about it? What does it say?
It's written with an eyebrow pencil. Pier 42 at 1:30. Sure, that girl's just crazy enough to keep a rendezvous with Johnny Tide. What time is it now?
10 after 1. Why? What are you going to do?
Maybe three's a crowd, Mr. Bennett, but I'm going to be there when Johnny Tide and Janice get together. I'm going to...
What is it, Holliday? What are you staring at?
Look. They're on the rug. Those smudges. That's oil.
Oil? I don't follow you. What does it mean?
The Tide's been here already. Those are his tracks.
What?
Yes, you see, he was out on the oil barge an hour ago, and the deck was slick with that stuff. I know. I slipped myself.
Well, then, couldn't those be your footprints?
No, I left my shoes on the pier. I swam out.
But why would Johnny make an appointment with Janice and still come up here?
I don't know. Only Johnny can answer that. Just like he can tell me where he gets those smelly Egyptian cigarettes he smokes. I took a cab to within the block of Pier 42. Then I got out, walked quietly to the rendezvous spot. Janice was already standing in the soft light of a street lamp waiting. So I ran back to the phone and called Lieutenant Kling. With the girl set up like a clay pigeon, I didn't want to take any chances. When I got back to Janice, it was 1:30 on the button. And a second later, a man stepped from the side door of a warehouse. It was Johnny Tide. I moved closer as Johnny went up to Janice.
Johnny, darling.
Hello, Janice.
Oh, Johnny, it's been such a long time.
Yeah. 5 years. An awful long time, Janice.
What's the matter, Johnny? Aren't you glad to see me?
Sure. Sure, awful glad, Janice. Awful glad.
But what's the matter? Johnny, why are you looking like that?
I'm just trying to figure out something.
Oh, never mind now, Johnny. Look, you've got to get away.
Wait a minute. Listen. Cops. You did it again, didn't you?
Johnny, no.
I might have known. I was going to give you a chance to explain, but
Johnny!
not now.
Hold it, Johnny.
Holiday, you.
She didn't call the police, I did.
I'll get both of you later. I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back.
Johnny, don't run away anymore. Don't run away.
Holiday, Dan. You there?
Right here, Kling.
Where is he?
He ran into the warehouse.
Okay. Put a ring around that warehouse. Spotlights, tear gas.
No, let him alone. Let him alone.
Okay, boys. Let's go.
I'm going with you, Kling.
Be careful. Come on.
It's no use, Johnny. The police are here. You're licked, kid. Come on, give up.
Not me, Holiday. Me and the law just don't seem to get along.
But, Johnny, it's your only chance. Will you give up? Answer me, Johnny. Look.
You hurt, Dan?
Just in the shoulder, I'm all right.
There he is. Up there on that raft. Kennedy, your light. Shine it up there.
There he goes, Lieutenant. Get it.
No, don't, Kling. Don't shoot.
Stay out of this, Holiday. Devil, you crazy, Holiday?
Not quite. Kennedy, shine your light up behind you. Up there. Higher. There. There's your man, Kling.
What? Well, who is that, Holiday?
That, Lieutenant, is the man who killed Rick Martin and Fatty Ralston and tried to frame Johnny Tide for the whole thing. The name is Tyler Bennett.
Well, Holiday, how are you this morning?
Oh, pretty good, Kling. The doc says I'll be out in a couple of days.
Good. Well, like you figured, the whole thing was a scheme of Bennett's to kill Rick Martin and take over as #1 man in Watertown.
Yeah, and with Tide framed for the murder. Tyler Bennett would also have had a clear field with Janice.
And he was the one who knocked you out just before Rick Martin was shot, huh?
Uh-huh. He must have followed me from the blue chip to Johnny's hideout, where he heard me talk Johnny out of his gun. From there on out, he was in the driver's seat. But I still don't see why Bennett killed Fatty out on the barge.
Because Fatty was Bennett's sidekick in this frame. And when it looked as though you might get the truth out of him, Bennett was forced to shoot one of you. You were lucky. Fatty made a better target. But now I've got one for you, the jackpot question. When you were in the warehouse, how did you know that Johnny Tide was innocent?
Well, I found that out the hard way. You see, I was facing Johnny when I was shot. In the back.
Holliday. You certainly had a long night in Watertown. But there's one thing I don't understand.
And what's that, Susie?
Why did Tyler Bennett follow you down to the pier?
Oh, he had to because of the oily footprints in Janice's apartment. You see, once I got to Johnny Tide and found out that he didn't have oil on his shoes, I would have realized the footprints couldn't have come from anyone but Tyler himself.
Oh.
Besides, I would have also found out that Johnny didn't smoke Egyptian cigarettes.
But what about Johnny? Now, I mean.
Oh, he's on probation for stealing the gun. Everyone knows he was framed for the other deal.
Gee. You know, Mr. Holliday, I wonder if I would have thought of that Egyptian cigarette thing. Nope, I guess I wouldn't.
Why not?
Because I don't know a single Egyptian.
Oh, good night, Susie.
Next week, same time, through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd stars as Dan Holliday in Box 13. Box 13 is directed by Richard Sandville, with this week's original story by Gene Levitt and Bob Mitchell. Original music is composed and conducted by Rudy Schrager. The part of Susie is played by Sylvia Picker, and that of Lieutenant Kling by Edmund McDonald. Production is supervised by Vern Karstensen. Box 13 is a Mayfair production from Hollywood. Watch for Alan Ladd in his latest Paramount picture. Box 13, with the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd, as Dan Holliday.
Box 13, care of the Star Times. If $50,000 is of any interest to you, come to see me. If it's adventure you want, this is it. Because I want you to kill me. At present, my address is 756 South Marvin Boulevard. Please come alone. And don't tell anyone about this.
My address is 756 South Marvin Boulevard. Please come alone. And don't tell anyone about this letter. Simon Andrews. The letter was dated 2 days before I received it. And this was one time I wish sleet or snow or winds or anything had delayed the swift courier on his route.
And now back to Box 13 and Dan Holliday's latest adventure, Killer at Large.
But this was written 2 days ago, Mr. Holliday.
I know it, Susie.
And you were out of town, so I couldn't get in touch with you.
Well, it wouldn't have made any difference. I couldn't have made it back in time anyway.
Gee, you're not going to follow up this letter, are you? It's obviously the work of a handle.
A what?
You know, one of those persons who writes letters and things.
Oh, a crank.
Oh, but you're not going.
I sure am, Susie.
Oh, no, you wouldn't kill him.
Oh, of course not. But I do want to know why Mr. Andrews wants himself killed. And I'm going to try and talk him out of it. The fact that I hadn't received the letter for 2 days had me worried. A lot of things can happen in 2 days. So I went to the address of Mr. Simon Andrews. It was night. There wasn't a light in the big house. I walked up the front stairs, punched at the doorbell, and heard it ring inside.
Want somebody in there, Bud?
Huh? Where did you come from?
Never mind where I came from. The point is, where do you think you're going?
I was going inside, if the door opens.
Step back away from that door. With your hands up.
What's the idea?
It's not an idea, Bud. It's a reality. Awful real. Go on. Step away and keep your hands up. After you.
Thank you.
Straight ahead. Go on.
I'd still like to know what the score is.
About 10-0, and you're carrying the short end. Keep going, and stop at that door to the right. Get away from it.
Corley, what's this?
This is something that I picked up on the front steps, Mr. Andrews.
Bring him over here.
Was it you who rang the bell?
That's my usual way of getting into houses.
Who are you? What do you want?
You're Simon Andrews?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I said, who are you?
My name is Holliday, Dan Holliday.
Well, that means nothing.
What'll I do with him, Mr. Andrews?
Wait a minute, Orling. Holliday, what did you want here?
I came here to kill you.
Hey,
Watch him, Torley.
Oh, at your own request, Mr. Andrews. Look,
keep your hands away from your pockets. Wait a minute. Let's see what you got in there.
go ahead.
No gun. No knife.
I don't understand.
That makes three of us. A nice, cozy group. Here, I was going to give you this letter. I think you wrote it.
Yes. I wrote this. And you're box 13.
Yes, I am.
It's all right, Torling. Leave us alone.
Huh? You sure it's all right?
Yes, yes, go on. Go back to your post.
Oh, sure. I'll be right outside the window.
Now, Mr. Andrews, what gives?
I'm sorry, Holliday, but I'm afraid
Afraid of what?
of being killed.
For a man who wanted to be killed, you're doing a lot of unnecessary work.
Why didn't you come when you got the letter?
I was out of town for a couple of days.
Oh, Please, sit down. Would you like a drink?
No, thanks.
I'll have one. You mind?
Go right ahead. It's your house.
When I wrote that letter, I wanted to be killed.
Why?
Maybe I'm crazy, I don't know, but I was sick of living, just sick of it. Can you understand that?
Not yet. I like to see flowers and bees and birds.
You're younger than I. Anyway, it was a kind of a morbid thrill, thinking that someone was after me, going to kill me.
Did you really think I'd do it?
I didn't know. I took the chance.
Well, don't worry. My only reason for coming here tonight was to see what prompted this letter, and to talk you out of it if possible.
I wish you'd come 2 days ago.
Why?
I want to live now. I've met someone, and I want to live.
Well, go right ahead.
I have already paid someone to kill me.
You what? You're crazy.
Not now. I was.
You can't be serious.
I am. I tell you, someone is going to kill me. Someone I paid $25,000 to do it. I don't know who, I don't know when or where, but he's going to kill me.
You're a fool. Go to the police.
I can't.
Your life depends on it.
I know, but I can't go. If I do, there'll be notoriety. I wouldn't have cared before, but I can't let that happen now.
You know, I've met some strange people through my ad in the Star Times. But if you want the trophy, there'll be no argument. Put it on your mantle.
Don't joke.
I'm not. You've got yourself into this. Now get out.
Maybe you can help. Sure, maybe you can.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Look, I'll pay you whatever you want. I can afford it.
Oh, sure. If you can afford $25,000 to get yourself killed, you can pay more to stay alive.
That's it.
But not to me. Look, Andrews, all you have to do is call off the deal. Let the killer keep the money, but call it off.
Don't you think I've thought of that?
Then what's the matter?
You didn't read this newspaper, did you?
No, why?
Look at the headline.
Benny Franklin slain. Big shot of gambling syndicate killed in underworld slaying. So, who cries about this?
Franklin was the man to whom I paid the money. I paid him to find someone to kill me.
Well, 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 you really locked the door on yourself, didn't you?
Do something.
Huh? Just like that, huh?
Franklin was the only man who knew about our deal. I paid him in cash.
What do you think I could do?
Anything. Find the man who's going to kill me. I'll pay whatever you say.
Look, Andrews, it isn't a question of money. It's a question of looking through the well-known haystack for the equally well-known needle. I wouldn't know where to start. Take my advice and take a chance on going to the police. Hire private detectives, anything.
I can't. Please, Holliday, help me. Good heavens, you'd give help to a dog if it needed it. I'm grasping at straws. I'm afraid to leave the house. I hired Torling as a bodyguard. But sooner or later, the man who's out to kill me will get to me. Please, Holliday, please.
All right, Mr. Andrews. But if at any time I find things getting a little hot, I'll go to the police myself. That's the only way I'll make the deal.
All right, anything.
Now, you paid Franklin. Franklin evidently knew someone who would be willing to pull a trigger or use a knife. But you have no idea who.
None.
Then we've got to find a starting point. And the starting point is Benny Franklin.
He's dead, man. He's dead.
Very. But he must have left a family.
Of course. The paper says something about his mother.
I'll try to see her tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow? Why not tonight?
Because the police will be questioning her, watching her house. You'll have to wait until tomorrow. Then I'll see her. Well, I didn't like the setup. Andrews was a fool and obviously a psychopathic case. But he was in trouble. So the next morning, I saw Franklin's mother.
Can't tell anybody anything else. I told all I knew.
To the police?
Yes. Yes, to the police 100 times. My boy's gone. What good is all this?
I'm not the police, Mrs. Franklin.
Then why do you want to know about Benny?
Maybe I'm a friend of his.
I don't know you. I never saw you before.
Look, Benny once did me a favor. Call me a friend of his for that?
I don't know your name.
It's Holliday, Dan Holliday.
Where did Benny know you?
Well, let's not talk about that. What I want to know is, what did you tell the police?
Everything I could.
And what was that?
What do you expect me to tell you?
I don't know. Maybe who his friends were or weren't?
He was killed. He was killed by somebody who hated him. There was a man named Scott.
Scott? Did you ever see him?
No, I told the police. Benny saw him often. He always went out to meet him.
Why?
I don't know.
Was there anyone else?
No one I knew. Benny never brought his friends here.
No, I guess he wouldn't. Now, Mrs. Franklin, did your son recently come into, well, a pretty good sum of money?
Money? He always had plenty of money. I never took any of it. I wouldn't touch any of it.
No, of course not. But what did he tell you if he came in to say $25,000?
No, he wouldn't tell me. Why are you asking that?
I have my reasons, Mrs. Franklin. Maybe if we knew he had the money and if we could find out if he gave it to anyone, we might be able to learn who killed him. Don't you want to see his murderer caught?
I don't know.
He was your son?
Yes. My son. I was ashamed of him for what he was, but I loved him.
Yes, I know. But think, Mrs. Franklin, did he have that much money recently?
No. No, I don't think he did.
You're sure of that?
When he had money, he spent it all at once.
Then if he'd had as much as $25,000 recently, he'd have put on quite a show, huh?
Yes. Yes, yes. But what good is this?
I don't know yet. And you can't tell me anything more about this Scott.
Well, Benny went to meet him the night he was killed.
All right, Mrs. Franklin, it's all for now. And thank you.
What are you going to do?
Look for a man named Scott who has suddenly come into $25,000. That was all. Look for a man named Scott who had a lot of money. A killer would make himself hard to catch. Well, the starting place was one of Benny Franklin's favorite places. Then another, then another. Then finally in the bar of a little cocktail lounge.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Quite a bit, I hope.
Huh? What'd you say?
Look, my name's Holliday. I'm a writer, and I thought perhaps you could help me out.
Oh, you want me to write something for you?
Oh, no. But I'm interested in Benny Franklin's case.
Oh, that's so.
Yeah, he came here quite a lot, didn't he?
Well, lots of people do.
Mm-hmm. But Franklin came here more than lots of people.
Maybe.
Can you tell me anything about him?
Mr. Holliday, there's something like 5 newspapers in this city. Pick up any one of them and read all about Benny Franklin.
That's not the kind of stuff I want.
Well, that's the only kind of stuff you get.
Even for this?
You could buy a lot of newspapers for that 50.
But not a lot of information.
What makes you think I can give you any?
This 50.
What you want to know?
Anything you can tell me.
Well, I heard that Benny Franklin wasn't the big boy in the gambling outfit.
Oh? You sure?
That's what I hear. Also, that there was a lot of talk around that Benny was getting too big.
I see. But I'm not interested in that part of the story.
What you mean?
I want to know about a man named Scott.
Don't know him.
You never heard of him, huh?
No.
Who is he? Where is he?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about that.
Scott's a trigger man, isn't he? A killer. Does that make you hysterical?
Well, yeah, kind of. But I'll tell you something, Mr. Holliday.
Go ahead. You've got $75 to fill up.
Sure. Well, you're looking for a guy named Scott.
That's right.
But you ain't gonna find him, ever.
What?
I'll tell you. And that's all I'll tell you. And then you leave here, Mr. Holliday.
All right, go ahead.
You ain't gonna find a guy named Scott because there just ain't a guy named Scott.
And now, back to Killer at Large, another Box 13 adventure with Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
So there wasn't anyone named Scott. I didn't believe the bartender in that cocktail lounge. I didn't believe him because Franklin's mother had told me Scott saw a lot of Benny. But maybe Mrs. Franklin could be mistaken. I went home and thought it over. The more I thought, the less sense it made. According to the bartender, I was looking for a man who didn't exist. According to Simon Andrews, I was looking for a man who was going to kill him. Later that night, I decided to pay Mr. Andrews a visit. I was leaving my apartment building when...
Don't turn around. Just keep walking, Holiday.
What?
Just keep walking, I said.
What's the idea?
Turn in the alleyway. Go on. It's good enough. Now face the wall of the building with your hands up. Way up.
How's this for size?
Shut up and stay shut up. You got no gun.
Everybody seems surprised at that. Maybe I should carry a few guns to keep people happy.
It could be healthier for you. Now, why were you asking for Scott?
How do you know I was?
I got friends.
Lieutenant Barr?
Could be. Come on, Holiday. Why were you asking about Scott?
I have an uncontrollable curiosity about men having that name. I collect them.
I don't want to have to do that again, Holiday, and I want good answers.
That's the kind I don't have. Now, maybe you'll tell me who you are.
I could be Scott.
Yeah, I had that idea when you asked me to go for a walk with you.
Who sent you to that cocktail lounge?
No one.
I said I want good answers.
I gave you one. No one sent me to that bar.
You just happened to go in and ask about Scott.
That's practically it.
Who told you about him in the first place?
Franklin's mother?
You're a liar.
All right, I'm a liar. Who might argue with a gun?
Turn around.
Well?
Wait a minute. I want to get a good look at your face.
Do I look any better by matchlight?
I've never seen you before.
I wish you never had.
Who got you in town?
Who did what?
Come on. You ain't one of the mob. You know.
Well, I'm getting old.
You ain't got a gun. What's your pitch?
You know, I think we're going at this the wrong way. We're asking each other questions. Suppose we just settle down to a couple of true confessions.
Where you from?
Why?
I don't know what this pitch is, but who sent you out to get me?
Get you?
Yeah, you come in to put the finger on me.
And I didn't come in here alone. Look behind you.
What? Look.
All right, stand still.
Oh, don't. Please don't.
My, what a big difference a gun makes, depending on who holds it. Now, who are you?
My name is Nicky.
Last name Scott?
No.
Would you like to be caressed with your own gun?
No, please. Please tell Scott I won't do it anymore. Please give me a break this time. I'll get out of town. I'll do anything, but let me go.
Did you say I should tell Scott?
Sure. I was just going to put the bite on him once, just enough to set me up, and then I was going to blow town. Honest, tell him that.
Turn around. Face the wall with your hands up.
Sure.
Now, let's see what trinkets you're loaded with.
It's just a letter.
Uh-huh.
What are you going to do now?
Well, since you invited me for a walk and I didn't really want to go, I think I'd better turn you over to the police.
Oh, no, you... What?
Stop. Come back here.
What's the matter?
Nothing, ma'am. Nothing at all. Just a friendly game of tag.
What?
And I'm it. My charming vis-a-vis disappeared into the night and left me holding the bag. And the bag in this case was a letter. At first, I didn't pay any attention to it. Later, I looked at the address on it, thinking it would clear up some of this puzzle for me. And did it? Everything got worse. So I decided to go and see Mr. Simon Andrews.
Back again, Mr. Holliday?
Well, Mr. Torling, still the faithful watchdog?
Let's go in. Go ahead.
Where's Andrews?
Same place he was last night. This way. Holliday's back, Mr. Andrews.
Holliday, come in, come in. Torling, get back to your post.
Yes, sir.
Well, Holliday?
Well, Mr. Andrews?
For heaven's sake, man, don't just stand there. What happened? Where were you? Did you learn anything?
Which question do you want answered first?
Stop it. What are you trying to do?
I'm sorry. Mr. Andrews, what do you know about a man named Scott?
Scott? Scott? Name means nothing.
Nothing at all?
No.
I think Scott is the man we're looking for. The same Scott who might have killed Benny Franklin.
Scott killed Franklin? But why?
Could be for your $25,000.
I don't understand.
Put it this way. You went to Franklin, hired a killer. Franklin got in touch with the invisible Mr. Scott. Maybe Franklin tried to hold out on Scott, and being a man of very, very short temper, Mr. Scott erased Franklin.
Did you find him?
I don't know.
What do you know?
Just a minute, Andrews. I'm in this game on a rain check. Don't shout at me or I'll go back to the bench.
I'm sorry, Holliday, but you did learn something.
Do you know a man about 30, medium height, dark hair and eyes, small mustache, little scar over his right eye?
No. No, I don't.
Well, he knows you because he had a letter for you. Here.
What's this?
Like I said, it's a letter.
But what's in it?
I don't like to be trite about this, but you could open it, you know.
Oh, of course.
Well?
Look. Read it.
You got until midnight tomorrow.
Midnight tomorrow.
The letter's not signed.
It doesn't have to be, Holliday. It's from the killer.
Why should he send you a letter?
Torturing me.
That could be.
Why didn't you turn that Nicky over to the police? Why didn't you do something?
What's your suggestion, Andrews? You put yourself in this hole, now climb out of it. I'm pulling out.
Oh, no, please. You're the only man who knows who's after me. Please, Holliday. Money's no object. Just find that man.
How?
You saw him?
Only once.
Yes, but you know what he looks like.
Look, let's turn this whole thing over to the police. Let them find him.
I can't. I told you before, I can't. Holliday, make one more try. Just one more.
And spend the rest of my life without my head?
Well, take Torling with you.
And what about you?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Oh, Mr. Andrews, you didn't think of a lot of things. One of them was how stupid can you be?
I know, but will you help?
On one condition.
What's that?
You paid $25,000 to have yourself killed. Probably because you couldn't take your own life. You wanted a thrill. Okay, you got it. You paid $25,000 for it. Now I'll pay $50,000.
What?
Make out a check for $50,000 payable to any charity I name.
That's the only condition?
The only one under which I'll try to find the man.
All right. I'll do it. I'll write it immediately.
Good. Oh, and Mr. Andrews.
What?
The check had better be honored, or I won't go through with this.
I swear I'll honor it. Take it with you. Here. Deposit it first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Now, what are you going to do?
To find Mr. Scott. Find Mr. Scott. Oh, it sounded so easy. So I did the only thing I could. I went back to the little cocktail lounge and the same bartender.
Yes, sir. What can I... Oh, you.
Hello.
Oh, what do you want now?
I'm looking for Nicky.
Nicky?
Yeah, Nicky. You know him?
I don't know nobody named Nicky.
You didn't know a man named Scott either.
I don't.
We'll pass that. But I want to find Nicky.
Well, even if I knew a Nicky, why should I tell you anything?
Because Nicky is due to get killed.
Killed?
That's it.
I don't believe you, mister.
You've got to. A man named Scott is after Nicky. I want to warn him.
There ain't nobody named Scott.
Nobody you care to admit you know. But there is a Scott, and he's after Nicky.
You on the level?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You'll find Nicky where he lives. 654 South Rogers.
Oh, one more thing. Is Nicky mixed up in that gambling syndicate?
I answered your question. The only one I'm going to answer. Now, you get out of here. Get out before the roof falls in on me.
Well, I was playing a hunch and playing it all the way through. I went to the address the bartender gave me, walked up the stairs, and came to a door that had Nicky's name on it. I started to knock. The door was open just a little. I pushed it all the way open and went in. I stood in the dark for a moment and walked toward a window. I stumbled over something on the floor. I lighted a match. Nicky. Nicky.
He's real dead, Holiday. Real dead.
Tolling.
Mm-hmm. Toiling.
Scott.
Oh, have it your own way. You know, I thought you were never going to get here.
What are you doing here? Where's Andrews?
Give me that check he gave you.
You killed Nicky.
Good guess, Holiday. Hand me that check.
Okay, here.
Thanks. Now, Mr. Holiday, you're going to be very sorry you came here.
Am I? Tolling. Tolling.
Thank you, Mr. Holliday.
Andrews.
Quite a gathering, isn't it? Nicky, Torling, you.
Good evening, Mr. Scott.
Oh, you guessed, eh?
No, I figured it out.
Well, I'm sorry. I haven't got time to listen to it. My shot must have attracted attention.
3 men killed. You do all right. Franklin for trying to take over the gambling syndicate. Nicky for trying to blackmail you because he knew you killed Franklin.
And Torling because I didn't trust him. I sent him here to kill Nicky, but I thought the check you had from me would prove too much for his loyalty. I must go now, Halliday. Thanks for finding Nicky for me. I had no idea who was blackmailing me.
So you used me for a patsy, cooked up that story.
Certainly. One of my boys would have been recognized. But you're a stranger. Understand?
And I've got news for you, Mr. Scott. The police will be looking for Andrews. You. The higher up in the gambling ring. The man who kept out of sight.
Looking for me?
That's right. Because you slipped. Listen. You see, I made a phone call to the police. That's why they're coming. Not because anyone heard your shot, but because I called them.
Bluff.
Oh, no. When I went to see you with that letter, I only described Nicky. I never mentioned his name, but you did. You said Nicky.
You.
Look out, he's got a gun. Look out for him. You got your $25,000 worth, Mr. Andrews.
Gee, Mr. Holliday, you certainly were smart to figure that out.
Ever play poker, Susie?
Is it like gin rummy?
No, not quite. But if you've ever played, you'll know how good it feels to draw to an inside straight and make it.
I don't get it.
Well, Susie, the police were not coming for Andrews. They were out on a call to stop a fight.
Huh?
Sure, I didn't think of that Nicky routine until I was talking with Andrews.
But you said you called the police.
Oh, I say a lot of things. Susie, a man has to say a lot of things when he's looking at his own tombstone.
Do you mean to tell me that awful man actually brought your tombstone along?
And I... What? Good night, Susie.
Next week, same time, through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd again stars as Dan Holliday in Box 13. Box 13 is directed by Richard Sandville, and this week's original story was written by Russell Hughes. Original music is composed and conducted by Rudy Schrager. Part of Susie is played by Sylvia Picker, and production is supervised by Vern Karstensen. Box 13 is a Mayfair production from Hollywood. Watch for Alan Ladd in his latest Paramount picture.